Back to their video. In today's video, we have Survivor Series 2024 predictions, another year of war games, and Survivor Series has kind of have a soft spot in my heart. Obviously, last year was one of our biggest videos, so obviously that was amazing, so thank you guys for that as well. But yeah, really excited for this show. Obviously, a lot of cool matches, a lot of cool teaming up we're going to be seeing on this night. What's your excitement level for this?
Yeah, going into it, I really wasn't too hyped for it. I was kind of confused on the teams and the Seth Rollins was going to get in there, or, all these things that they were kind of teasing but didn't really happen. I wasn't really too interested in it, but as soon as they added Punk to it, as soon as Bailey got added to it and Jade Cargill got taken out, and Paul Heyman returned, and all these things kind of happened at once, and it really leveled up my excitement by a ton. I'm very excited for the card now. I think it'll be all the matches on paper look amazing. But yeah.
Yeah, let's kick things off with the Women's War Games match where we have Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and the new addition of Bailey replacing Jade Cargill. And they'll be taking on Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. Who do you have winning this one?
I will go with the babyface team. I know there's kind of a lot of stuff kind of going on in that team. Obviously, there's Bailey and Io Sky. They have a history with each other. Bailey and Bianca just somewhat kind of made up. Rhea Ripley, she's just kind of a loose cannon. Anything can kind of happen when it comes to Rhea. So yeah, there's a lot of kind of turmoil going on in that team, but I think there's just as much going on with the other team, being that they have both women's champions as well as the Money in the Bank holder on the same team. So it feels kind of imminent that a cash-in is going to happen. I'll be very excited to see it. Hopefully it'll be a successful one. I'd really like to see Tiffany as champion. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this match. I'll go with the baby faces.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also going to go with the baby faces. Although I think there's an argument for the heel team to say they need it more. I do think that somebody like Rhea Ripley, who has consistently lost to Liv Morgan at this point, if I'm not mistaken, at least in singles action. So I feel like she kind of needs a big one here. Bianca now going solo probably, now that Jade's out for a little while. And then Io and Bailey, I'm sure there'll be something there as well. But yeah, I do agree there's going to be a lot of tension between this babyface team, but this is like the all-star team. They'll handle it, and they'll make sure they win this match. Next up, we have the Intercontinental Champion on the line in a triple threat match where Braun Breaker will be defending it against Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. Who do you have for this one?
This one, I don't really necessarily think this will happen, but I'm just going to go forward with my prediction. I'm going to say Ludwig Kaiser wins the Intercontinental Championship, and this will kind of play along with another pick later on. But yeah, I'm going to go with Ludwig Kaiser. I really have been liking him a lot. His heel, just the faces he makes, the things he says, and the way he just kind of carries himself on TV, it's just amazing. He's great in ring. It'll be great to see him kind of take Braun Breaker down. I do kind of expect Braun Breaker to retain, but I will predict Ludwig.
Yeah, this match, I quite literally don't really care who wins this match, because no matter who wins it, I'm happy for any of them. I think if Braun wins it, I'm glad he gets to continue his reign. Sheamus completes the Grand Slam finally, and Ludwig Kaiser, obviously, an up-and-coming guy who W seems to have a lot of stock into. They want to build as like a next big guy for him. Similar to you, I'm not going who I think is going to win, but who I want to win, I'm going to go with Sheamus. I want Sheamus to finally get that under his belt. As being a Grand Slam champion, he's more than deserving of it. There should be a really good match because every segment these guys have had between each other has been great so far, and I think this will be no different on the night.
Yeah, I think that could be a potential for Giovanni Vinci as well. We haven't really seen a lot of him. I believe he was backstage during the Carmelo Hayes and Cody Rhodes segment. So he is still, around backstage and whatnot. So I think there is a potential for him to get involved. If Ludwig kind of looks like he'll win, maybe Giovanni Vinci comes in and kind of helps him lose or something. But I feel like there's a potential for that.
Yeah, definitely room for it. Next up, we got the United States Champion on the line where LA Knight is taking on the recently returning Shinsuke Nakamura. And who do you have for this one?
I'm going to go with another title change here in Shinsuke Nakamura. I just want to see Shinsuke win a title. I think LA Knight had a really good run. I think he could lose and go on for another title chase of, somewhere else. For maybe the world title, something like that. because it would be cool to see him versus Cody. That could be a cool little main event for a Royal Rumble or something potentially. But yeah, I think I will go with Shinsuke because it'd be cool just seeing him with the belt again.
Yeah, I do agree that I think Shinsuke could really benefit from the United States champion. However, I am going to go LA Knight just because I don't think Shinsuke, I'm going to say deserves it, but I think just LA Knight's too hot right now and just to drop it to Shinsuke right now. So yeah, I'm going to go LA Knight. Next up for the World Heavyweight Champion, we have the champion Gunther going into Damian Priest in kind of a rematch. Who do you have for this one?
I'm going to go with another title change here, and I'm going to say Damian Priest wins it. And my kind of theory behind this is Ludwig wins, Gunther loses. He was telling Ludwig to, step up and do better and all this. And now it's kind of the reverse roles where Ludwig's the champion, and now he could look at Gunther and say, maybe you aren't that guy that you used to be because now I'm the champion. And maybe that causes the split, the feud, see them two, go against each other. That's kind of my theory booking with all these title changes. The LA Knight one, I could definitely see him winning the most in my theory world because you don't want all the champions losing in one night.
Yeah.
But I do feel like Gunther will lose and Ludwig could win in my world.
Yeah, there's definitely room for that. At first, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really like the way this storyline was going between Gunther and Damian. However, after the past, I'd say 2 weeks, I really got invested to this where Gunther, after taking that loss to Cody, he's kind of doubting himself a little bit more, but in reality, he's still one of the best wrestlers right now. And I think once he gets this win over Damian, we get back to the, more dominant Gunther that we're used to seeing. So my prediction will be Gunther gets the win here, retains. Just because I feel like Damian Priest kind of did what he had to do with the belt. I don't know what's literally left for him on the table. Obviously, you can do Finn for the belt, but I feel like that's kind of useless if Finn's not going to win it. But at the same time, you don't want to have Damian lose it immediately. So personally, I just want Gunther to win, keep things simple. Plus, he's the best, so keep the belt on him.
Yeah.
But next up, we got the men's War Games in our main event, most likely, where we have Roman Reigns, the Usos, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk team against the Bloodline, Solo, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Bronson Reed. And who do you have for this one?
This one is probably the hardest one to pick. Before Punk was announced, I was definitely leaning more towards the Bloodline. However, I think now with Punk involved, there's like almost too much star power on that team to lose. Like you have CM Punk, you have Sami Zayn, you have Roman Reigns, Jey Uso's a big star now. I mean, they're all stars, you know what I mean? So it's kind of would be a tough loss for all of them to take a loss here. But I do think Roman losing here could be really good. Now I do have another one of these crazy theories of mine that I usually do, and that is, so we've seen Paul Heyman come out, he does the thing with CM Punk and Roman. He's standing in the middle of them. He's looking, menacingly, if you will. And, he's dressed like Solo and whatnot. So one of my theories is maybe, the baby faces win. Punk, Roman, they all win. Punk and Roman, maybe they shake hands after. They're cool. But then the last Paul Heyman guy comes out, Brock Lesnar. I'm not saying this is what I want to happen, but the facial things that Paul Heyman did and what he wore, he doesn't do anything for no reason. That's one thing I know about Paul Heyman. Right. So there's something behind everything that he did. And maybe this could be a way to introduce Brock back, and he just kind of comes in and just kind of destroys everybody after they just had this long, War Games match with each other. I don't know how that makes sense, really. I don't know where you fit him into any storyline right now, but that's just kind of my theory right now.
Yeah, this match, I think there's a lot of possibilities that could potentially happen in this match. I do think something will happen with Paul Heyman. Part of me hopes that he sticks with CM Punk after this, because, that's just one of the greatest duos ever at this point. Just two the best at each of their jobs. So I would just like to see that happen again. But I do think the babyfaces get the win here, or Roman, Usos, Sami, Punk. But I think there's a chance that we even see Paul Heyman maybe double turning on both Roman and Punk, and then maybe picking up Jacob Fatu as like I'm appointing you as the new tribal chief or something like that. I think that could be a really cool dynamic.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with the Brock Lesnar thing, where he's turning on both, because Roman did leave Paul Heyman all those months after Mania to kind of get bullied by Solo in the Bloodline. And then he also kind of got turned on by Punk in a way whenever he came out, told Punk, save me and all this. And then Punk basically said no and told Bloodline to come fight him. So yeah, he kind of, there's reasons for him to not like both, and obviously there's a lot of reasons for him to like both still. But yeah, I think there definitely will be something involved here. You can never trust Paul Heyman.
What's your favorite match on the night? Or match you're looking most forward to on the night?
Honestly, maybe the triple threat match for the IC title. I think that could be a big sleeper. I think they're gonna do something to kind of prove that they're worth it, especially Ludwig Kaiser, someone who's relatively new to pay-per-views and whatnot. It's his first singles pay-per-view match ever, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
So, I mean, this is a really good opportunity for him to kind of show off on the main roster.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to that one as well, just because, like you said, it's three of just the guys who've been carrying Raw recently. So hopefully, when they're all in the ring together at one time, it's a car crash but in a good way. But yeah, it should be a really fun night. Hope you guys are as excited as we are. But that will wrap it up for us, and we will catch you guys in the next video.